Alright, you ready?
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some news to share with you today. It's not really easy news, but we don't want to make it heavy. It's personal news, and we're here to share it with our community because a part of our company values is authenticity and vulnerability. So here we go.
We are vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. Oh, yeah.
Okay, no squeaky toy. Can I have that, please?
Yeah, she'll try to find it. So, yeah, I've got cancer. And I might as well just be straight out with it. You know, this is how it is, okay? I found out, about 3-4 weeks ago? Something like that. And it's sort of taken a while to process inside the brain. In fact, I still am.
Bench.
No.
Come on.
Oh, jeez.
That's the cancer.
Glad I haven't got cancer there. But yeah, it took a little bit of time to process. But now I sort of think, well, okay, what can I do about this? I mean, other than, you know, what the doctors say and all that sort of stuff. I mean, yeah, I've got choices there as well. And the choice was last night. Tara went to bed with a headache, probably from me.
No comment.
Yeah.
That's enough.
And I
enough.
decided to make it public on Facebook with all my friends because
first you told the children.
I told the kids. Yeah, I had to tell the kids, and so that was actually relatively easy in some ways.
Well, they don't react because they haven't had the life experience that adults have. I think they react better in some sense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I was like, Are you going to die? Straight off the bat. I overheard it.
And of course the answer that I give him is yes, well, everyone does eventually, you know, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
We sign up for death when we're conceived. So, so I made it public on Facebook, and now I thought, well, Tara suggested that we do this video because you are a part of our lives, and being as open and honest as what we possibly can. We're not falsifying anything of who we are. This is just some of the news that's happening. You know, and look, some of you might have even had this experience yourself.
We understand that this is not a personalised issue, like it's personal for us, but it happens every day, and we know that some of you guys have been through some really hard things.
Absolutely.
And I suppose this video was more of an intention of not to make you feel sorry for us in any way, or anything,
not after any of that,
or sympathise. It's actually just like we're human. And a massive company values of ours is authenticity, that we want to remain human. We don't want to pretend that we're people that we're not. And even we had this conversation before we started this video when I suggested maybe that we do this. And Russell said, yeah, but is that relevant to camel training? I'm like, well, technically no, but it's relevant to our company values, which we value authenticity.
Well, actually, I was thinking about it in the shower before this video.
I'm glad you had a shower before the video.
Yeah, I am too. And I thought, yeah, there's a couple of principles that are actually similar in how you approach your camel training, and you know, you're working with your camel. Sometimes it's like you're apprehensive, which, I mean, you know, in the past few weeks I have been apprehensive, I must admit.
Leave it.
And probably painful. Only you'd be able to answer that.
Oh, you're painful?
Yeah, I've probably been a bit painful.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, you didn't have to be so definite.
I meant that you're experiencing pain. I'm like, oh, have you? I haven't heard about it, but I've definitely heard about it.
Yeah, no, well, I'm not in pain.
No, stop it.
But you know, this comes to a point where I've got clarification of
Takes a bit of time
what I'm wanting to do with all this, and you know, how I want to approach it, and who I want to be at the end of it. You know, And that's the reason why I've gone public and, just tell people, so what? This is how it is. And I'll tell you what, it is prostate cancer, okay? It's prostate. So guys, get tested. I only got tested just out of a fluke, really. Just in an unrelated matter, went to the doctor, and a really good doctor.
Can I just add there, for the ladies who have partners that happens to be a man, the doctor thing is such a struggle for some men. I would say most men, like trying to get them to the doctor. So, I was nagging, because like that's what they call it, for years, like go for your annual checks, go for 6 monthly checks. You've got to just keep check of your health and value that, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You don't have a job, you don't have, you can't do things in life. So it took a friend of his to go, okay, well, it's actually about skin checks originally for skin cancers and things like that. It took a friend to recommend that, and I'm like, oh my God, I've been saying this for like 3 years. So ladies, wives, I hear you. Wives with husbands, I hear you. It is a struggle, but Russell's here to tell the men that are listening.
Yeah, it was a piece of piss.
Literally.
Well,
was it? Did you
no,
pee in a cup?
No, it's not that. No. But it was so easy, and it was just simply, okay, let's do the check, let's get the bloods done. So blood sample, off it went. A few days later, the doctors at the doctors, they said, oh, yeah, your numbers are high in this particular area of the prostate, and so. Do I have your permission? She actually asked me, do I have your permission to take this further? And I said, I'm telling you to take it further, just let's go for it, whatever. If this is what you found, then let's take some action.
Did you ever at any point in time have a feeling that something was not right?
No.
That's the trick, isn't it?
I don't have any symptoms.
A lot of people say, no, I feel fine, nothing's wrong with me, I'm healthy, I'm doing all these things, and he literally had no symptoms.
I've got no symptoms. I mean, I'm urinating quite fine and all that sort of thing. There's just doesn't seem like there's any symptoms at all. I mean, it might have crept up on me and I haven't noticed, but to me, at the moment, I don't feel as though I've got anything wrong with me at all, and yet the science is telling me that this is what's happening. So following on that, a little story attached to it all, and I'll get back to how it relates to camel training. I know it does. Because everything does. Everything does.
Everything does, it's true.
So anyway, put me in touch with the specialist, and because of COVID, of course, we had a Zoom meeting, and he said, well, I'd like to take you through the MRI machine. So made the appointment. I went down to Traralgon here in Victoria, where they've got a really beaut MRI machine. So I stayed in the, I called it the Tunnel of Love.
Tunnel of Love?
Yeah. Well, you're lying in this tunnel and you've got to lie still, and you've got headphones on because it's really noisy. And anyway, I call it the Tunnel of Love.
Okay.
And sure enough, there's the picture of the prostate, and yes, there's something definitely there. So now I'm going for the biopsy. So it's all just procedural.
And it's step by step, like camel training.
It's very much step by step.
You can't skip ahead.
You can't skip it, and you can't rush it. With the systems that are in place. They try to do things in a timely manner, of course, and having been involved in the health sector, it's a lot of work. The background work is a lot to get things done, and anyway, they're getting it done. So the next step for me is a biopsy, see what sort of cancer, and therefore what sort of treatment. That's the next
step.
Yeah.
So we don't know the next step. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to happen, and for me, being very pragmatic, like the first place that I tend to go is, okay, well, how can we keep ourselves financially afloat at this time? Because usually in summertime, which we're coming into summer now in Australia, that this is our busiest time, and Russell operates the camel rides that we do on the beach. And it's like, well, that could possibly, and this is because I'm very pragmatic, it could possibly be that we might not have a season because he could be going through treatment. So I've sort of taken on this whole responsibility of my own, and this is all my own doing, is like, okay, well, I need to find a way to support the family 100%, you know, to keep everything going, including the company, you know, our Camel Connection here. So that's where I go. That's me in the pragmaticness. And of course I want to take care of him. So if he's not well, I don't want him to work. Simple as that, because the healing will take a lot longer. You know, so they're the places that I'm going. If you're curious on how I feel about it, that's sort of the places that I'm going. So if anything, that's the actual stress I feel. And they, like some of you going, that's so insensitive. Well, I've already, you know, I've experienced death. We have, both of us experienced death in our family very, very close to us. You know, we had an infant son die. I had my brother die 5 months later. So I'm actually not afraid of death. And I realized, like Russell said before, that everyone does die. As soon as we sign up for birth, we're signing up for death. You know, yes, it'd be tragic if, you know, it was worse than, you know, what it is. I don't know. I'm assuming that it's okay. But at the end of the day, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And in the past, like, I'm so glad, like, it sounds so strange to say it in this way, but I'm glad this is happening when it's happening, and that, you know, the timing is everything. Because, like, for me, like, if this had happened 3 years ago, I would have been a melting pot.
Yeah.
I was struggling severely with anxiety, and this would have just thrown the kilter. I couldn't even imagine where I would have been. And I just go, not selfishly, because anxiety is more of a mental health issue, but I just go into myself so deeply that I can't even help anything around me. Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad that I have the tools that I have now, which I learned through some amazing programs I've been through, to go through this process with Russell. And we can still have joy in our lives. You know, this doesn't have to be doom and gloom. And we can still be here with you guys and teach you the way that we do. Like, nothing is changing in our company. I want you to know that. Like, with Camel Connection, nothing is changing.
Anyway, to get back to... Thank you.
Oh, you want to keep your story?
Well, I hadn't finished. Yeah,
I just want to
we stop and change all the time in just normal day conversation. It's just sometimes...
I just wanted to reassure people...
Exit a conversation, you got to spend half an hour deciphering.
People might be thinking, at the end of this video, they're saying they're closing down the company.
No. But, what's it got to do with camel trading? I mean, you know, it's sort of like, I mean, here's a problem, what's the solution? And so with your camel training, I mean, you know, you might have apprehensive. You might be apprehensive about, you know, getting in and doing stuff and all that sort of thing. But sometimes you just got to
be vulnerable.
And I hate to say this because, of course, it's all down that area, you know, down there. But sometimes you got to just have the balls to get involved and do it.
It's an expression.
Yeah. But
you don't actually have to have balls.
No, but yeah. So anyway, with prostate cancer, I mean, you can lose your testicles. That
was just a mic drop.
One of those things, and various other things. Okay,
there's lots of things that could happen. We don't know what's going to happen. But
finding out early. Hopefully, it's been early, that, you know, the good treatments that are out there. And look, the prognosis is great. You know, it's 95 to 98% chance that I'll be still alive and kicking and giving everyone the irrits in 5 years' time. So, yeah, that's why I was saying to the doctors, whatever it is, you're the experts. You do to me whatever it is you would do to yourself if you were in my position. Simple. But yeah, with camel training, I mean, you know, and this, I was thinking about it in the shower, you know, it is sometimes a matter of you've just got to go, right, let's get in there and do it. And I'm at that point with my cancer journey.
It's like everything that's built up, like that you've learned in your lifetime is built up to this moment. Any moment, it could be any moment of any day, you've built up to that. And whether that be big or small or tiny, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. And what I see with this and how it relates to camel training is vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable to work with camels successfully.
Yeah.
You know,
see, here I am going into the hospital next Friday to be put under, to have some needle shoved up somewhere to get a biopsy. And I've never done that before, right? It's a new experience. And I could either be really petrified and scared of all that sort of thing, and I think there is a certain level of fear, so I'm not going to pretend, I'm not pretending about this, that there is a level of fear. But at the same time, you know, this is a whole brand new experience, and I could learn a lot from it. From, you know, all sorts of things like medical and all that sort of stuff, but also just experience. What do people feel? What if people feel like when they're going into hospital and working in the aged care? I'm always sending people off to hospital. So now it's my turn, and so afterwards I can actually become, if I choose to, learn from it, be a better person to be able to help those elderly people who I deal with.
I agree.
Even better. Through my experience.
I feel like that with all the experiences I've had too. You have more of a world view on things.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
So anyway, that's you know, it's not really a message about, you know, how to lift up a camel's leg or anything. I mean, this is just us. You are a part of our lives, and we're so grateful that you are. And you know, I am anyway, being totally open and honest about, you know, where I'm up to. So if I sort of drift away from things for a little while, from the videos, then you'll have some sort of understanding as to why that's the case. And I certainly have every intention of, no, I'm not going to let this thing beat me, Christ almighty. You know, and even if it did, you know what, it's actually okay. It's actually going to be okay, but it's not going to. It's not going to.
That's just because he's so stubborn.
Well, so sometimes stubbornness.
Now I appreciate that. So we, like Russell said, we do appreciate you guys for sticking with us, watching us. You might have been, you know, listening and watching us for years now. You might have even been one of Russell's first customers when he did his first Outback Camel trek when he started his business a million moons ago. You know, so we, you know, you all hold a different place in our camel lives here, and that's why we wanted to jump on here and share this news, and you know, it's part of us being authentic. We're terrible liars. We are terrible liars. We can't even hold a straight face. Like, we can't. It's not even lying. It's like if someone asks how you going, we're like, well,
shit.
This is how we're going. Like, we can't not be authentic. And this is who we are. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate your friendship and connection. And yeah, really appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
What you squeaky toy?
You need to move.
Whoa!
You need to move the camera. No, this is ridiculous. Zeta.
Okay.
Zeta.
We got you. Oh. You don't need to sit up a bit.
Oh,
how come you're so sinky?
Because I'm fat and happy.
Fat and happy.